right, good evening. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Stronger North Carolina's This Is What Democracy Looks Like. Tonight we are filming live from the NAACP headquarters here in Raleigh. And I'm really excited. We have quite a few guests joining us. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the NAACP, the local chapters, what's going on kind of at a broader level, and some exciting stuff that's coming up this week. So with me first is Yolanda Barksdale. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for having us. I am the HK1J Coalition Coordinator. I work with a lot of different organizations to help promote the Moral March on Raleigh, which is coming this Saturday. Everybody's invited. You know, you can show up with about 100,000 of your closest friends and family would be great.
But are we expecting that many for this year? 100,000?
We are. This year is going to be truly historic. So we have two co-conveners this year, Reverend Barber and Reverend Spearman. So we are very excited, and we're just waiting to break history again.
All right, this is going to be really exciting.
Yes.
So thank you for all of your work. I know you had to overcome a lot of hurdles just to get everything ready for Saturday.
Yes.
Is there anything you guys need at this point?
Actually, you know, if anybody's interested in canvassing this week, we have some flyers that need to be distributed. So if you need anything, let me know, email. That would be great. Yolanda.Barksdale, BARKSDALE, at naacpnc.org. I'm taking help. I would love help. Help is good.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great. And we'll also make sure it's on the comments so
Awesome.
we can kind of pass that around.
Yes, thank you.
Would you mind bringing on our next guest? I'm so
Yes,
excited we have
no problem.
everybody here.
So we have our youth college president, Cyprian, I'm so sorry. Cyprian, I apologize. It's been a very long day. She's going to come and talk to you guys a little bit as well.
Come on in. Cyprian, thank you for joining us.
No problem.
How long have you been the president for the youth chapter?
This is my first year, so it's very exciting.
What got you interested in doing this kind of work and running for president?
Well, I was with a youth organization that was partnering with NAACP, so we would do some events with them, and I've seen how important or of an impact that it had with the youth and what the youth could have an impact on the world. So, and a couple of marches I had went to, so it was very exciting, and I wanted to put my input in there.
Yeah. What do you think is sort of maybe one or two of the most important issues for younger people in particular who are getting involved in the march and in the movement in general?
Right. We like to talk about healthcare and education with healthcare for it to be affordable for families and the elderly, so they wouldn't be left out alone, so that they could afford to go to the doctor or get their medication that they can afford to take. And especially with education, having the teachers more motivated and also to have smaller class sizes or bigger class sizes, and
Right.
I know with college, affording college and not going into college and then coming out with debt. So
Yes.
because I know my sister, my sister's currently going to St. Aug, and I see on Facebook sometimes that when you go into college, you come out with debt, and I'm just like, good luck with that.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. It's a hard thing to overcome.
Right.
As you're just getting out into the workforce, you're kind of saddled with that much that debt. So tell us, what do you think is some of the best ways to reach people your age if we wanted to help with some of these efforts?
I honestly have no idea. But you could also contact us personally. I know we have an email. I'm not sure what it is on top of my head.
Well, how do you personally like to see information? Like, are you a big fan of the Facebook Live?
Facebook Live.
Okay. So we're on to something here.
Yeah,
okay.
Facebook Live, emails, Instagram is really another one.
Okay.
And Snapchat. Snapchat also has ads in there that you can purchase. So maybe something like that.
So really using multimedia.
Yeah, multimedia.
But what do you think about sort of these in-person engagements like tonight, for example?
Perfect. I love it.
Okay. So I'm getting some tips from you while we're here. And I think this is a big deal. One of the reasons why we do the show is because we see a lot of headlines and memes and things like that. And it doesn't take the place of having conversations and building relationships with people. So we kind of like to use both sets of tools to do that. What do you hope to achieve by the end of your first year as the youth president?
So as of right now, we're working on more recruitment for teams, recruiting teams like left and right, north and south, but more teams so we can have much of a more impact than we have right now.
And what kinds of activities will you guys be working on this year?
We have a Black History event that we will be doing, and we also have a youth awards program for all the youth in our chapter that have done so much for our chapter. So we're awarding them.
That's a great way to get some recognition within the teams. And I understand you might have a challenge for some of our viewers.
Yes, so I challenge every fraternity, sorority, college, all youth all across the world to come over and help us march. We need your support and we love you.
So for Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell us again, we'll say it a couple times. So what time should we start gathering?
I would
Before
say
9?
Yes, so like 8:15, 8:30.
Okay.
And if you want a really good parking space, like the
7:30, 7:45,
yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that you're particularly excited about for Saturday?
What I like to see all the time that I come out to these events is the number of people as it sees and grows. It's like it's mind blowing. It's something that I always enjoy every year that I go. So
Yeah, I do too. This is the one that I will never miss.
Right.
There's a few good marches every year, but this is the one that is probably most special to me too.
Definitely.
Thank you for being here and for all your work.
Thank you.
And good luck as the youth president.
Thank you
quite
so
an honor.
much. Yeah.
I would like to add something
Oh,
too.
please.
She said Snapchat. We have a Snapchat geo filter that will be available the day of the march. That says More March on Raleigh. So we're encouraging people, and we'll also be we have an app that's coming out that will be available as well. So
that's great. And will you repeat the hashtags too that we want to use?
Yes, it is hashtag Moral March and hashtag Moral Resistance.
And so if you're online this weekend, be sure to, especially on Twitter, please use those hashtags. It'll help us get a better accounting too for how many people have turned out. If you're on Facebook, you can check into the event. Those are other good ways. We don't always get an accurate crowd count, and so these things can help us just kind of bridge that gap a little bit.
Yes, definitely.
I hope to see you out there.
I will be there.
I'll be there as well. All right. Would you like to introduce us?
Yes, actually we have now our Raleigh Apex branch president, Reverend Dr. Portia Rochelle. She'll be joining with us. So I'll get up and she'll join us.
Please. Hi. Hello. Reverend Dr. Rochelle, thank you so much for being here and making the trek out and being here in evening hours.
Yes.
It's absolutely an honor to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. So I know you've been involved not just as the branch president, but in the NAACP in particular for well over a decade. Tell us, and maybe longer, would you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in civil rights type of work?
I got involved because my high school classmate told me that I needed to come and share some of my gifts, my talents. So I decided to become a part of the NAACP. I forget the year, but it has been a while. I started out as the religious affairs chairperson. And I spoke up so often that some of the members said, hey, maybe you need to be our president. They found out I had a big mouth and I love to talk. And I've always fought for justice, even in school, even in the community. I did a lot of things for the elderly. I spoke up for them, helped them fill out paperwork, and helped them get through legal issues as far as signing papers, knowing what they're signing. I didn't try to, be a lawyer.
Sure.
But I've just always been interested in social justice.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a calling for me to do this.
Well, it's fantastic, and I know your work is much appreciated throughout the state. The NAACP in general in North Carolina has taken a monumental lead in social justice, I think for a really long time, even way back during the Wilmington 10 trial,
Exactly.
And especially the last dozen or so years,
Mhm.
just a really strong lead. Now there are things that you guys are supporting, kind of like a lead, supporting a little bit more indirectly, like Repairers of the Breach, the Moral Monday movement, and then there are things that you guys are supporting, you're more actively leading.
Yes.
One of the things I was most interested in is the 14-point plan of action that you have put together for the year.
Right, we have a 14-point agenda, and we want to also mention that we have over 125 organizations such as yourself that have partnered with us to do this march. NAACP has been on the battlefield since 1909. We are the biggest, the baddest, the boldest, and the oldest civil rights organization in the United States and the world. And we're not afraid to go to battle when we need to, so we really appreciate our coalition partners joining us. We have a 14-point agenda. I'm interested in all of them, but here lately, voters' rights has stood out for me, and the Raise Up 15. I hate hearing the sad stories, especially for single mothers that have to work 2 and 3 jobs to take care of their families. And our legislature can do something about that. So we're fighting against low wages. Voting rights. Our legislature has decided that they want to make our judges a partisan race. We are not happy with that. We're going to fight against it with all our might because it is wrong, wrong, wrong. And we're going to fight until we win.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that's very concerning to us.
Yes.
We've also put out a voter's guide. There's a toolkit available for that, and we want to continue working with you all this year to continue updating it, and especially, like you said, with the judicial gerrymandering potential.
Oh my gosh.
We have to get this information out well before the primaries. So that's something we'd like to work with you on as well.
Oh, great.
Now, you said the word coalition, and I love that you use that word because for me, one of the things that I really admire about this organization is that you've been leading the charge for the entire coalition. And it is not about any one particular group.
No, it's not. We
Right.
need everyone.
Yes.
We need everyone to come together. You'll notice at the marches we have representatives from different coalitions that are speaking. It's not just the NAACP speaking. We need everyone working together. We need all the soldiers on the battlefield. So we don't shut any organization out. The state office can tell them how to become an official partner, but we welcome everyone to the march because everyone is important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you see that with the marches. And so for people who've maybe never been, are you able to maybe describe at all what you think they might see on Saturday? I know
Wow.
it's overwhelming in the best way.
They will see masses of people coming from all over the state and from other states that fly in or bus in to join us in this moral march. It's again, we're not selfish. We're concerned about all the people, all races, all different religious organizations. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is important. They're important to the God that I serve, and they're important to make the community what it should be. We're determined to make North Carolina greater.
That's right.
By doing the right thing. We're going to speak out against social injustice. There's so many people that come, and one lady was telling me they were kind of pressed up against the wall last year because they could barely move. We want to see the repeat.
Yeah.
Over 80,000. We want to see much more than what we had last year. We want people to come. We're praying that the weather's going to be nice. I think I heard it's supposed to be 61 degrees.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
So it would be nice, but to stand on the stage and look out and see the mass, oh, it's just beautiful. I get teary-eyed every time I'm there because I just look at the people that are coming from all walks of life that are there to see what we have to say, and then they can go back home and do a replay and re-emphasize what we're saying in our speeches. We're about helping the people.
Yeah.
We're not about any type of political party. We are for all of the people. We're all important.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the lead that the NAACP has taken in the state, is that I have never seen such a diverse group of people get together. And it's absolutely beautiful.
It is.
And you see the flags and the banners, and I mean, it's a real array. Now, what some people who maybe aren't as involved or don't know as much, sometimes they get a little confused and they say, well, I don't know what you do stand for, right? Because I see all these different messages and different types of people.
Mm-hmm.
And what I try to say to them is that's exactly what we want you to see.
Right.
Because
right.
there isn't one way, right? We're not promoting a particular doctrine, but we have these 14 points that we think are important for all people, right? It's social justice, it's affordable health care, decent education, funding, class sizes, all those things that, I mean, they really affect everyone.
Right.
And so I think that's an important part of the message for Saturday too, is that if people are a little like, well, I'm not sure what the message is, that is the message.
And they
it's
can go
about
to our
so many
website
things.
to
Yes.
see our 14-point agendas and learn more about them and see how they can become involved. They may find one that is dear to their heart, and they didn't know that we're working on that. So they can come and join us.
That's right.
My branch meets every fourth Sunday at 4 o'clock at Martin Street Baptist Church here in Raleigh. So we would love to invite more people to come to our meetings to learn how to get involved.
Right.
Voting rights, we're setting up our candidates forums, we're setting up different places to vote, to do voter registration, and we're also building teams that will take people to the polls. Once we get our community registered, it is important to go back and get them to the polls. And we have free rides.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And especially, I think it was in the last election we didn't have as many early voting hours. We didn't have as many of those extra stations, and we're trying hard to get those back, right?
Yes, yes. I'll be speaking at the Board of Elections on Thursday night at 5 to let them know where we want the early voting sites to be, more convenient to the people that can ride the bus or whatever.
Absolutely. And in our rural areas, the transportation is a really, really big
So we
deal.
really push early voting.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And towards your point about maybe different areas that other people maybe aren't aware of that you guys are working on in that agenda, veterans are in there, the environment. And so I would say to all of our viewers, I would be very surprised if there was not at least one area that you would want to work on. So I hope you'll check that out. And it's if you want to tell us the website.
The website is naacpnc.org. You'll see our 14-point agenda. You'll see other events that we're planning. You can also find a branch in your area to contact to become an active member. We need all your help.
That's fantastic. So the thing I really love about the 14-point agenda and why we wanted to bring it up here too is that you guys have put a lot of great information together, and then you've coupled it with specific actions.
Yes.
So many times we talk about issues and we get fired up and we don't know what to do next.
Right.
And so I love how this guide works because it gives you, some of them have dozens of examples of things you can do. So there's a lot of flexibility for people to do what they're able to do if you're disabled, for example. And there's things that you can do from home if you're not comfortable being in a crowd. There's so much flexibility.
They can do phone banking. If they can't do canvassing, they can do phone banking. We have a list of people to call to remind them when to go vote and to ask them if they need a ride. So you don't have to come out in the cold elements or the hot elements. That's for the younger crowd. That's why I have this young lady to do that hard work.
All the generations.
We need more millennials and we need more younger people. And I'm trying to reach out to them to train them. Pretty soon, I may not be able to walk, as well as I am now. So I'm trying to train the younger generation to learn now how to be a social justice fighter. Okay? So it's exciting. And I love the work. And if they would give me 10 minutes of their time, I could convince them that they would love this work as well. because there's any little thing you can do, stuff envelopes, make phone calls, helps in the movement.
Yeah, it absolutely does, and it helps to really paint the picture that it is a broad people's movement.
Exactly.
This is for everyone. There's things that we can all do. Well, we're getting really close to time, so I wanted to see, is there anything else that you want to leave us with? Any last thoughts? Or
Yes, I want to challenge the local churches. I know a number of them usually participate in the march. I'd like to have a shout out from them to let me know that they're going to be there with us. I challenge the pastors, any religious organization, doesn't matter what religion, as long as, faith organization would just give us a shout out. What's the word, Twitter?
Twitter.
Twitter. Okay. All of that just to let us know you're with us. Let us know you're going to be at the march. Shout out when you're there at the march. Let us know you're there. And I challenge the local colleges. I'm a graduate of Shaw University, and I'm challenging the Shaw Bears to outnumber the St. Augustine Falcons. And we have youth chapters on a lot of the HBCUs. So I'd like to see them show up. Come in by the busload. Just show up and rally with us.
I'm going to echo your challenge as an NC State alum. I want to see the Wolfpack out supporting this really awesome march that's going to be going on Saturday.
Yes, we are fired up and ready to go.
You will not leave that march without passion in your heart and probably tears in your eyes. It is such a powerful event. It is one of the biggest things we do all year long. I'm just thrilled to have you all here with us. Thank you for your support and your planning, and we'll see you out there Saturday.
All right.
For everyone else tuned in live, we also have our toolkit on intersectionality, and that will be coming out sometime later on this week. So we usually have guest as well as a written toolkit that can be referenced later on. So you'll see that on our site, and you'll see a few links, especially to that 14-point plan in the comments here. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.